Yeah, it's your boy Geronimo. Also go by Tech Von Go. And then Corey Giovanni from Core ENT.
Yes,
So
definitely.
this week, man, we wanted to talk about cybersecurity and AI for entrepreneurs. Anyone who's starting their own business and stuff right now, they're most likely gonna rely on some type of technology, right? So I want to kick it and get started with cybersecurity, not just because that's what I do, but I've had an entrepreneur journey with a background in cybersecurity. And the biggest thing I want people to think about, like when they're about to start their company, selling whatever product or service, right? The main thing you got to understand is you got to protect your customers' information, right? Because like this whole cybersecurity thing is about protecting data. You know what I mean? And what data do you need to protect is your customers' pay information, credit card information, Zelle information. If you're taking Zelle payments, Apple Pay information, you name it, Facebook Pay, Google Pay, what else? Cash App, right? You got to protect that information, right?
Right.
Um, and I had someone who I used to be in the Air Force with. He has a very successful company up in Ohio. I think the brand is Toe Dope. So shout out to Toe Dope. And he was asking me he wanted to get with me about recommendations for, hey, I'm about to, he was he has a physical store, but he wants to start a online store, and he was kind of
Online.
asking for some tips. And what I would recommend for anybody, any entrepreneur who has an online store, go check out NIST. I mentioned them before, NIST. Um, they have a page for small businesses, best practices for small businesses. If you Google NIST, NIST, small business cybersecurity, it'll show you the link, and they got all kind of resources that you could do as a small business owner on how to apply best practices to protect your data. Um, and I would say, start there. Of course, you're gonna start with the minimum, right?
Right.
And then build your way up to where you may want to look at different options to get some outsourced cybersecurity services. There's companies that do that for you, like CrowdStrike. That's probably one of the bigger ones. I know Cisco just bought Splunk, so Splunk might be an option to get some managed services for cybersecurity. There's options out there, because what I don't want small business owners to do is try to learn cybersecurity themselves, because they need to focus on running that business.
Business. Yeah.
You
And
know what I mean?
yeah, and that's what me as a business owner in the beginning of the journey, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to wear so many hats, and by wearing so many hats, there's you you don't be a professional in what you do anymore. It's like, okay, I started this company, but let me go ahead and see how I can learn this for the business. And then you find out, oh, there's an opportunity to make some money for this if I do it for someone else that I can put back into the business. That that's not how entrepreneur works. What that
Nope.
is just it's pure chaos. I've been there. Up until recently, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's almost the squirrel moment, right? And
Yup. Yup.
with entrepreneur, you have to be you have to be laser sharp and focused. And I'm learning that discipline more so than I have before, because of the fact that as an entrepreneur, we walk away from the rat race, not to just to build our own rat race, right? We
Yeah.
walk away
Yeah.
from it for freedom and freedom and comfort. And to tie that into cybersecurity, you always want to make sure that what you're doing is protected. It's almost like if you put your money into a bank account, you want to make sure that money is protected and covered, right? Same as well as your time. Your time is an account as well. And when you are running your own business, sweat equity is going to be the first type of equity you're going to put
Yep.
inside your company.
Yep.
Uh, and just imagine how successful your business could be if you already had a team incorporated that can handle like the cybersecurity issues. So that way you can be able to say, you know what, I'm focusing on sales or I'm focusing on clients. I am not looking at the cybersecurity because why? That's not my niche. That's not my expertise. I hire a company for that.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I was looking online earlier. 60%, 63% of tech startups fail because of that, because of the fact that you have too many people doing too many things. Um, Magic Johnson didn't play center, right? Kareem played center. Magic Johnson played forward. He played shooting guard sometimes, but he stuck to his position. And that is where I want this conversation for entrepreneurs to go, because of the fact that there is tools out there with AI that can help you, that can help support you. Being that if you want to write a grant proposal and you have no grant writing proposal skills whatsoever, sure, you can hire somebody. I always say hire the HI before the AI, right? Because the HI has experience, but the HI, human intelligence, when I say that, is the ones who have is the ones who have the experience, right? AI,
Yeah,
yes, yes, it's prompt. You're prompting it. The only problem is if you don't have any experience in grant writing, all you're doing is setting yourself up for failure because you're prompting about something you have no knowledge in. And
yeah,
when
yeah,
when you have a business, you have to look at all angles. You have to the data that you're collecting. That information itself needs to be protected because of the fact that if somebody, let's say for instance, after the cybersecurities are done hacking the big corporations, they're going to touch bases on ours, on the small businesses. And if you have a client that you love working with and they pay you handsomely, but then their information, public information, gets out and gets exposed through your company, then your company, if you don't have the proper insurance, you shut down.
yep,
And you're liable to get
yep.
sued. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man, and that's the word people need to be familiar with as they're starting out in their entrepreneur journey, right? They want to be a boss, right? Because most people, I want to be a boss, right? Well, boss up, baby. You need to
yeah,
learn liabilities. When you're a
yeah.
boss, you have to deal with liabilities, and you
Abilities.
got to protect yourself from those
I
liabilities. Um, and from a
always say
cybersecurity
everybody.
perspective, go ahead.
I always say everybody want to be a boss till that invoice come in that you got to pay.
Hey.
Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's
Everybody
real.
want to be a boss to that invoice come
Invoice
in
come in
because the boss got to pay that invoice, huh?
exactly because a boss know not to default on anything because why? All that sweat equity can be easily erased like that.
Gone,
Yeah.
gone. And you know, another thing to consider too, from a cybersecurity perspective, is your intellectual property, right? If you're starting a company because you came up with a unique intellectual property, some type of product, or maybe you innovated a service, right? And the way you innovated that is your IP, short for intellectual property. You need to protect that because your
hmm
competition, or as the kids say, the ops, they trying to get what you have because business is war, man. No
Yeah.
ifs, ands, about it. You know, you want to be cordial, be respectful, but at the end of the day, business is war, and you got to
Yeah.
have protection measures to protect, what you're selling, right? Because if someone else gets their hands on what you created, trademark, intellectual property, copyright, whatever, that can interfere with the money, man. And
Yeah.
we got bills to pay. So that's really what people need to think about. And then I'll throw this out there too for anyone that gets to watch this. If you are a small business owner or you're starting something, any type of flavor of entrepreneur, you need cybersecurity, but you don't know where to start. Hit me up. I can guide you in the right direction, but I will tell you this: we're gonna have to go live like this for a conversation for me to answer your questions. I'm
As you
offering
should.
that to any entrepreneur watching this.
Definitely. And rightfully so, because of the fact that that's your expertise. You're not trying to
Oh
play a
yeah.
different lane. You know what I'm saying? I think every business owner should have some core key components of their business: how to sell, and
Mm-hmm.
how to scale, and how to obtain knowledge to make it easy. Not obtain knowledge, how to distribute knowledge to make it plain, where people can understand.
Yep.
Degrees, me personally, when it comes to degrees and things of that nature, I don't, let's just say I'm not a fan, right? However, those are people you hire, right? uh I read an article where it says, well, Bill Gates never finished college. You know what I'm saying? He never finished college. No, but he hired those that do. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
So,
And then
uh,
to your point, as far as like education and degrees, man. I mean, I got a lot of degrees, but I think we're you mentioned AI, right? I throw this AI out there with AI growing so much. Um, I think AI bridged the gap of information that used to be there as far as like people who didn't have access to education. So
yeah,
I think AI is the great equalizer to access to data, right? Because that's all you're going to college for, right? Is you're hoping to get information that's going to help you get a good job, right?
right.
I
No,
think
no,
AI
true.
blows down out of the water, with the exception of a few occupations, right? Like I want my doctor to go to college.
I
I
do.
don't, I don't want him to
You're
learn his
my
stuff off
doctor.
of Udemy.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I need my surgeon to know how to cut a head or cut an arm. Please don't have no machine cutting on me.
No,
Please.
I want my lawyer to go to college, right? I want to make sure they get that. And I'm gonna hit you with this too. The tech field that's gonna grow within the next, and you said it, 4 years and then some. I'm thinking within the next 10, 15, 20 years, the in demand skill set is gonna be AI. Those people that are actually creating the machines and technology for machine learning and AI, um, they're researchers. The AI scientists, they have a research capability. They're gonna need to know how to research, and they're going to need to know data science. I would say those people could benefit from going to college because the universities are built to teach people how to do research, right?
Yeah.
Those are the fields I would say, yeah, I want them going to college. But outside of that, I think most of the things you can learn on your own, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
using AI. And I think that's a good kind of transition to talk about the AI piece for entrepreneurs is you can use AI to as a launch pad for just about anything, right? Maybe prompt AI to, hey, for my industry sector, what are the best cybersecurity practices as a starting point, right? And then now you could kind of, okay, I need XYZ. Now you can kind of do a search for, okay, what companies have pricing that's affordable for small businesses where I can go outsource XYZ to. But at least also you now you can even use the AI prompted, what questions should I ask to vet these companies, right? Use the AI like that, kind of like a guide to kind of familiarize yourself and use that to go get yourself some cybersecurity services. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Uh, because of the fact that we know AI is here.
See it,
Everything
baby.
else, everything else is too, right? You feel what I'm saying? Like if you think about it like this, AI is the new AI is the new plug. Point
It's the
blank
new plug,
period.
baby. Come on,
You
say
feel
it.
what I'm saying? You want something, you plug in and you type it in. Like period. Like and as for small business owners and those who want to be small business owners and entrepreneurs and side hustlers and multi streamers,
Or
um,
think they do. Because
yeah,
everyone who thinks they want to be a boss, man, they not ready for that smoke, man.
nah, they not.
Some people are more built to be an employee, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And,
And if you go ahead,
and that's great. However, building whenever you whatever you learn and you're built to be an employee, make sure you find another way to monetize it for the event that if you want extra, because employees right now, they're getting the short end of the stick. A lot of people are getting fired because AI is coming in. And if you have tools like me, right? I was a cold call genius, what they call me. It was like, Corey, you're able
hey,
to get on the phone and talk to anybody.
one
AI is,
more call.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just one more. Or eat the frog daily, right?
Eat the frog.
It's like, okay, cool. AI is going to eliminate that. They are. However, for those who have that information like I do, I can create a series of prompts to make sure that AI can be able to do this, do this. Now I'm eligible to be hired for AI prompting your cold calls or AI prompting your sales. I was a damn good closer. So when it came to closing, it was nothing for me to be able to ask for the deal right then. I asked on the deal every time
Gotta
I
act
met.
for the deal, man. Gotta act. Hey, you know what? I know our conversations tend to be tech based, but that's very important for aspiring entrepreneurs to know. You gotta
Yeah.
ask
Ask
for the
for the
deal.
deal.
Ask
Yes.
for shut up, because people can talk themselves out of a sale, right? You could
Yeah.
talk if someone is like, I'm in, and you keep talking, you could talk yourself out of that sale. Like, damn fool, I said I'm in. Like, let's sign the contract.
And what I always like to do is listen for that awkwardness. One thing computers cannot take away is human skill set that they learn by just listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
When it came to closing, my deal was like, okay, best case scenario, what's the timeline for us to get this done?
Boom.
I
What's a realistic
I didn't
timeline, right?
I didn't ask a I asked an open ended question. You can't give me a no. If you gave me a no, that makes no sense. So
And
and
you shut the
then
hell up after you ask it.
exactly, I back away because now I'm releasing the power that they have to move forward in their hands. And
You know
it's
what? You bring up a good point, right? Because I think a lot of people who think they want to be entrepreneurs, right? And I don't even use that loosely. They think they want to be entrepreneur, because I've had my entrepreneur journey. The number one skill you need is to sell, but a lot of people don't like to sell. And I've heard people that say, "Yeah, I want to be my own boss." Some of those same people saying, "But I don't like to sell." And I'm like, "How you gonna have a business if you don't want to sell? If you don't like
yeah,
to sell, you're gonna have to sell something."
right. Yeah, and honestly, most of them they'll end up selling their time so they can go do a job. And
And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I,
nothing's
I would
wrong with
even
that.
say, whoever's looking at this and you think you want to be an entrepreneur, you really gotta, matter of fact, use the AI and prompt it to say, hey, what does it take to start a successful company? Look at that. Maybe start there, right?
Yeah,
Because I would much rather someone do their research and their due diligence and discover, you know what, I'm not really ready to do all of this. Because if you have a regular job, 9 to 5 job, guess what? You get to clock out at
yeah,
5 o'clock. If you're on an entrepreneurial track, ain't no clocking out. Is on
right.
the Sunday at a 2 o'clock, you working
Yeah,
until you get
depending
that
on
thing going.
yeah,
And then even when you get that thing going, guess what? On a Saturday at 9 p.m., you working.
you working.
Ain't no
Yeah,
clocking out when you an
no, no, no.
entrepreneur. And
Now,
that needs to be said too.
yeah, because a lot of people, and also set your goal. Set your goal as an entrepreneur.
Set your goals. Yep.
There's three things I've always told myself, my wife, and my kids. I will build a business, scale it, and sell it. That's it. You know why? Because if the business is not supposed to have something to be a burden, it's for to provide for my family. Now, if it like my company, Core ENT, I have different divisions on there. So if I'm doing digital marketing and somebody says, "Hey, how much would it cost to buy that?" Well, you can buy this arm of the company, scale it, sell it,
Yeah,
name it
yeah.
your
Scale and
own.
sell, baby. Scale and sell.
All my
There was
clients
something
go
you had
under
said
that.
to me before, man, about when you're building something, be ready to build it, scale it, and don't have no emotional attachments. If you get a
Yeah,
good offer, sell that bad boy or bad girl. Got to be
yeah,
inclusive these days, right? I don't want to get
inclusive, right?
canceled.
Yeah,
Or
I
sell
learned
them
that.
or they.
Yeah, yeah, sell the others.
Sell the others.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's when you because people have pride for the stupidest things. You know what I'm saying? The whole reason of you going to get a job is to take care of your family. The whole reason for you to start a business is to take care of your family and you can be more present. Like I understand that two things. My job, my business is taking time. One, it's one of the it's oversaturated audience out there, but it's my God given gift, right?
Yeah,
Entertainment. I
yeah.
know I'm great at it, you know, but I also developed the skills, right? Something that God gave me a piece of that I had to sharpen. I'm a people person, I can talk, but when you take that people person and put it inside of a corporate sales skill, then you become a closer. And there's a difference between a salesperson and a closer. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
good
And
point.
then, yeah, but then when you incorporate those things, you realize that what's your end goal? What's your end game? Like my whole thing is before I go into a situation, I know what I want from it, and whatever I get from it, then good. I'm at peace. If I don't get anything from it, let me go ahead and count the cost. Is it worth it? Because if
Yeah.
it's not worth it, then it's like I'm back on the hamster wheel, and that's what I'm not going to do. Right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? and
So
I understand everybody's situation is different than mine, but when you become at peace with doing what you want to do, and you know what I'm saying, you're able to sustain, not be that type of person when they say, "Oh, you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that on your own business." That takes time, and if it's going to take me a year, but then it'll take me 2 years if I do it at a slower space where I'll be able to obtain everything and still have the freedoms of not having to be on the 9 to 5. 2 years is good.
yeah, I mean, and you said it right. The biggest thing is begin with the end in mind, right? I forget what the book that came from, but begin with the end in mind. Where do you want? Where do you see yourself? Right? It's that question. I had some young folks I was talking to. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Right? That's a real. It sounds so overused, right, or cliche, but it's true. Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish with your business? That you want to grow. Right? Start there. And to your point, right, everything you do needs to be in full alignment with it, and you need to have laser sharp focus. Right? And that's where I think a tool like an AI can come in at, to where maybe you can use the AI as a launching pad to start your business plan, right?
Right.
Maybe use your AI to write your operation agreement, right? Or your charter, depending on what type of company you have, right? I also have a business background too, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, these there's gonna be a lot of paperwork and admin work when you're starting your own business, and that's where I see how you could plug in the AI just at the first start, right? But then again, also understanding how you can outsource some of that work, administrative work, to the AI as an entrepreneur. I see it. I mean, I use it a lot. I no shame in my game. I have a 9 to 5 job, but I
Right.
also do other stuff like Corey said, get your 9 to 5 job, but have your other side hustles too. My
Yeah.
side hustle was doing the content, showing people how to have tech careers, cybersecurity careers, right? So but everything I do is in alignment, and I leverage chat gpt and other AI tools to help maximize my time to do the stuff I'm doing on the side, right? But I also use AI in my day-to-day job. I don't know every single threat that's out there, right?
Right.
So I use AI as like a low-key threat analyzer, a sock analyzer, right? It helps me with threat hunting, right? So I use AI in so many aspects of my life. It's definitely a way to outsource stuff too. But again, you need to understand some things you maybe could start with the AI, but then eventually we'll have to outsource to some human intelligence, right?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Start with the AI, but lead with the HI.
Lead with the HI, and
Yeah.
also too, man. Can I tell people too? The AI is not the end all be all. We were on here. I think our last live session. Someone came on and was like, "Well, how do you how do you build a business with AI?" And the thing is you got to know something, right? Because whatever you use the AI for, you got to proofread that bad boy,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
the AI can hallucinate, and if you have absolutely no idea about the topic you use the AI for, how do you quality control it to make sure it's not hallucinating? Because there's been times I'll start a project in chat gpt and it's completely wrong, but I know it's wrong because I know the topic that
Right.
I'm working on, so I got to go back out there, reprompt it, and then sometimes I just got to create it myself.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not that the technology is not perfect, but
No, it's not.
you can use it in addition to your skills, the human intelligence, and have a network for different topics that you need help with, or different aspects of your businesses that you need help with. So and I think that's an important point for business owners to know. You can't give every single thing to AI. It can help,
No.
but it's
Yeah.
not going to do everything for you.
Exactly. AI is a tool, not a
Just a
person.
tool. Just
It's
a
just a
tool.
tool. And you know what? I was sitting here while you was talking. I was thinking about certain things. Like, um, everybody wants more, but everybody's not willing to do more, right?
Ooh. Ooh.
So if you're not willing to do more, but you want more, find a way where you can do a little more and incorporate artificial intelligence with that.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Because
Because
of because of the fact that especially and I look at I'm looking at NASDAQs, looking at stocks, looking at our whole financial system in the United States of America, and people can't live on the wages they currently have, right? But they also have tools to allow them to. And by all no means, I'm not saying quit your job because you can't afford it and go start your own business. No, what I'm saying is where you lack in certain things, use the tools that you have freedom to. But right now, while they're free, to build out some other multi streams for yourself, right?
yep.
If you're making $20 an hour, but your cost of living is $50 an hour, try to find that gap or something where you don't have to look at it as like, oh, I got to get a second job. AI can be your second job, but find out what you want to, what you're passionate about. Because a good man, one of my, and no, he's no longer here with us, but he taught me something. He taught me how to transition into entrepreneurship. You start right here. That's your entrepreneurship. This is your job. As this grows, spend less time over here, more time over here. And when they get to the middle, evaluate to see if your business can be sustainable doing like this. Work on both. And then when you need to start spending time with the family and you know that you're trying to get something off, because family knows you're trying to get things off, but they still desire your
Yeah.
time.
Still need your time.
Then then you start doing this. You start taking away from the 9 to 5 if you can. If you can't, stay here until your family starts seeing like, hey, I understand you trying to build something. So what can I do to help? Then you start having family start helping on this side. That way your family start getting over here. And then it becomes not only just a burden, not a burden, it's not just your priority, but it's part of their priority because they see that you have a
Yeah.
vision. And then when this starts going down, you can be like, okay, babe, I got it from right here. And then when you eliminate this, you go all in on this because they're bought and sold into the vision. So if they say, well, what are you doing? Hey, babe, I'm working on the business. Okay, great. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything I can do? Okay, great. And then you have a sense enough to say, you know what? Let me step back for a minute. AI, find a way to schedule me. So if I'm doing posts and I'm doing research and all this stuff, you can schedule that out and ask the AI when's a good time to post, when's the good time to do research, which one is validity, and then you go ahead and start delegating that to the AI and start
Yep.
moving that time back to your family. Because ultimately, the business we build is not for us. It's for our
Good
peace of
point.
mind, and it's
Yeah.
for our family. It's for our legacy, and it's for the
Yeah.
people who want
Yep.
to spend time with us. And that is how you run a successful business incorporating AI. You don't start with AI. I mean, you start with AI in the sense of you finding out what it can do and it can help your business. But you realize that until you can hire another employee, use the tools that's out there that's free. Chat
No, for
GPT,
sure. For sure.
Copilot, all these other things that you have access to that you can be able to use before they start taking these tools away. Because when, like, I believe it was March 11th when they have this new CTA law that came into effect to make sure that you're not using side money to fund terrorists, to fund trafficking, all these things. So it's a
Oh
new
yeah, yeah,
law,
yeah.
and it's BOI. You know what I'm saying? Business operations information that you have to submit to the
I've
government.
been seeing that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Actually,
and
I got to get mine in for my companies. Actually,
yeah, well,
glad
it's
you brought that up.
yeah, you got to February 2020, 2025 February
Twenty twenty five. Okay, bet,
if your
bet.
business was
No, yeah,
established
good point.
before this year. And I say that to say um, business, I mean, everybody's not going to be a billionaire business. Everybody can be, but what's the cost of it? What's the cost? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? In the Bible, you know what I'm saying, the book I always read often, it said, what good if it's a man profit the world and lose his soul in the process?
Good point.
It,
Good
it
point.
doesn't. It doesn't. And again, these businesses that we build are not for us. It's for
Nah.
us to spend time with our family. So it's technically for them.
Or spend time with whatever you enjoy if you don't have a family, right? Because not
Yeah,
everyone's
right.
gonna have a family, but hopefully you do or grow one.
Yeah.
Couple of things I wanted to unpack from what you said. I would caution people to be careful with that. Hey, find something you passionate in. Maybe I would caution people with that, and the reason why, because I always share people. My true passion is music. It's very hard to make money and live the lifestyle I live by doing music. Like I
Yeah.
also have kids and stuff, right? So
Right.
you can't always survive and thrive if you go after what you're passionate about, right? So I say proceed with caution in that. I learned it from my mentor, Darren Hardy, right? I reference him a lot, right? He taught me find the passion in what you do, right? Am I passionate about tech and cybersecurity? Not really, but it pays well. I'm also passionate about not being poor. So
Right.
I found my passion
Yeah.
in what I'm doing right now, which is not being poor. And me going that route and deciding to leave music alone. Because a lot of people, well, why'd you stop doing music? Because I was broke. That's why I stopped
Yeah.
doing music.
Yeah. Because not
And
let's
I got
look.
kids. So
I know a gang of people who play basketball well, but they ain't in the NBA.
they not in the NBA. So that's the one thing I say is if you have a passion that you can actually make a livable income off of, yes, follow that. But if not, if you had a passion like my passion, which was music, which is kind of hard to get paid off of, find a passion in whatever you do, right? It
Yeah.
could be anything. And again, I'm not truly passionate about taking cybersecurity. I fell into it and it does provide for a good lifestyle, which is why, I shared content to show other people how to get into tech and cybersecurity, right? Because it's feasible and you can live off of it. That's the only thing I wanted to throw out there. Um, and then you
And I
you
want
made
to
a
say
good
something when
point
you
too that go ahead.
now I wanted to say something. I hear a lot of people who've already made it say find something you're passionate about and you'll never work a day in your life. That is a lie.
It's a
That is a
lie.
lie.
It's a lie.
I sat with a gang of people who are higher and more wealthier than I am. And what they told everybody in the room, they said that if you work and do something that you love, you will eventually hate it.
Because
And
it
I was
becomes a
like,
job.
it becomes a job, not a love. Exactly. And
And you
that's
know what? I gotta add another thing to that. You have to learn how to master the mundane. No
yeah.
matter what you do, it becomes a job. And you know what? I think we have a culture in our society to where no one wants to work. I
Yeah.
say be willing to put that work in. You said it
Working.
earlier, eat the frog.
Eat
You
the
going
frog daily.
if you want the money, you got to eat the frog. You gonna have to work. Hey,
Yeah.
Britney Spears said it, man. You want a Maserati? You better work, bitch. Like straight up, you gotta work.
Yeah. No, for real. Real. Facts. Facts, non-fiction. For real. You gotta look at it like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean, you gotta do this regardless. Think about it when you was a baby. You fell a couple times. You know what I'm saying? You didn't come out the womb walking. You gotta get
Nope.
familiar with it. You
Nope.
gotta get familiar. And then you ain't ran no sprint after you start walking. You know what I'm saying? You ain't run no marathon mile. You have to take your time,
Take
jog,
your
put
time,
one foot
baby.
in front of the other. You know what I'm saying? And working on a corporate job showed me that I'm able to jump out the boat and swim and not drown. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's not it's not for everybody, but for those who chose to do that, my hats off to you. And also make sure you get you some reliable teammates around you. When I say teammates, others in that field. Go to the SBA, Small Business Association, see if they have any business cohorts you can sign up for. There's one that I attend to. It's called Think Watts. It's over in Watts. It's founded by Brandon Sticks Bailey.
Yeah, I know
Great,
Sticks. He's
yeah,
doing his thing.
yeah, man. Great person, great individual. I've won several grants from over there. Well, I wouldn't say several,
Nice.
three,
Nice.
but to help the business grow. But also, I learned a lot about taxes. I learned a lot about infrastructure, business infrastructure. These are things that you can do because of the fact that you're going to work regardless, whether you work in your business or you work on your business. And I've always was told to work in your business and not on your business. You hear a delay? That
No, you sound good to me.
I heard
Sound good to me. I think also too. So I have mentioned this book before. Anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur, you have to read the E Myth Revisited because it talks about how to work in and on your business. Because when you first start, now you got to do both. You got to
yeah,
work
you got to do
in the
both
business and you got to work on the
on your
business.
business.
You want to eventually graduate to where you work on the business, i.e., that's when you manage it and you hire other managers to manage your business processes and stuff like that, right? And also too, man, I want everybody to understand too. Again, not everyone is willing to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed to be an entrepreneur and business owner, right?
Right.
Because that's the real question you got to ask yourself. If you think you want to have a business to grow and scale, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because it's going to take sacrifice, right?
Hmm.
Um, and for those that are like, you know what, I'm willing to make those sacrifices. Also, too, understand that depending on your business, you might need employees to grow that business. So
Yeah.
again, there's nothing wrong with being employees because there is a symbiotic relationship between business founders and employees, right?
Yes.
Because it's kind of hard for that business founder, entrepreneur to grow and scale without having employees. And I would I would encourage whoever's watching this to kind of reframe that relationship as a partnership, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's some companies that don't treat employees well, but if you have a great idea as a founder and you want it to grow, yeah, maybe you could lean on AI to help with some stuff, but you're gonna need humans to help you grow that idea. But I will offer you this: um, you can maybe use, say, the AI to come up with like maybe employment agreements, right? Partnership agreements.
Right.
Maybe create your full compensation packages and stuff like that. I ran in HR for a little bit, right?
Shout out to T
So there's
and shout
still a
out to
good
TJ's
relationship there.
Edgeworth too.
TJ
Shout out to
TJ Edgeworth said true. Hey man,
yeah.
I'm glad you picking up what I'm putting down. But no,
Yeah.
I wanted to put that out there too because I never hear that often where employee being an employee is bad, but I'm like, but even the entrepreneurs need employees, so treat the employees good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For real. I mean, think about even content creators. They need somebody to hold the camera. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
point. Good point.
You know what I'm
Because I'm
saying?
holding my camera myself right now. Well, actually, I got a little
Right.
camera holder right here, but
Me too. But when we out in the field and you talking to people, you know what I'm saying? Technically, you're gonna need somebody to be able to give you the right type of lighting. When you do a podcast, when you're doing podcast face to face, you're gonna have somebody on that camera, good looking out, funded. You know what I'm saying, TJ? I appreciate it.
hey,
And as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you need to fund your own business. That's the reason why I made the hat. Fund it.
hey, fund it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta have paper.
hashtag fund it. Yeah. Um, so definitely, like you. Oh, my bad. Go to coreent.biz where you can grab one of these. It'll be up on Friday. Under the
Nice.
merch under the merch
Core
section.
ENT
Coreent.biz. So C O
dot
R
biz.
E E N T dot B-I-Z.
Go get you
And
one.
then
Go get you
yeah,
one. I'm
click it
about to
under the
give me
merch.
one.
And make sure make sure you also look for the AI is the new plug merch as well. Um but definitely, like I was saying, you I lost where I was saying.
No, we were talking about the symbiotic relationship between
Yeah,
employees and
employees,
entrepreneurs.
right? Because thank you, salute you too,
That's
brother.
what's up, TJ.
You know what I'm
Thanks
saying?
for the love.
Or sister, brother,
Or
sister, either one.
TJ, did I? Yeah, thanks, TJ. Thanks for the love. Yeah,
Thank
I don't know what
yeah,
you are, but thank you.
yeah. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you share this feed too, brother, because sister
Yeah, share
TJ.
it out, man. We that's what we're trying to do, man, is help people understand that. So just to recap, since we were talking about that, how the symbiotic relationship between employee entrepreneur is important. You can use the AI to come up with the documentations you need for your employees, because you're gonna treat your employees good, right? Because we need them too. There's a place. And then you kind of bridge from that and was saying that it's important to fund your business, right? Got to fund your
Right.
business to pay your employees, right?
Exactly. And make the business functional. Business don't run on its own. You need internet, lights,
Yup.
you need
Yup.
data, you need to be able to um incorporate a system where you can be able to reach out to your customers that already paid in the past. You need all these things to fund it. It takes about $900 a month to run my small business. And I'm at the part where I'm working on it and in it. So I'm not I'm like eh, I'm making something, but that's not the goal. The goal is to build it to the point where when it's at the point where it's scaling, then I can be able to be like, yeah, that arm of the business can go. Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scale sale.
And again, I think the AI, you know it, you're using it to help scale. I think once you get it going, you made a good point. I think AI is really good for entrepreneurs to help them work on the business. That I think that's really the
Yeah.
true power for AI, for entrepreneurs. It's helping you work on the
On the
business, create
business.
frameworks and templates and stuff like that, right? Maybe come up with like customer nurturing emails for your email campaign manager
Yeah.
platform you're using, right? I think stuff like that is
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's it for entrepreneurs. The AI is real good to help you work on the business, and I think
Right.
that can help you buy some of that time back, right? And that's
Exactly.
actually how I'm using. I use the AI for a lot of tedious tasks that helps me out, since I do work a 9 to 5, and I do the content as an entrepreneur and some other things too. But I use the AI to buy me some time back, right?
Yeah.
And then I also outsource certain things like thumbnails. I don't make my own thumbnails. Sometimes you help me with it. Sometimes I got
Right.
another party helping me, because you got to outsource stuff as soon as possible to buy your
Mm-hmm.
time back, to spend that time. For me, I spend that extra time with my family, right?
Right.
Wherever you are in your phase of life, maybe you want time to hang out with your friends, crew, whatever you do, right? Do you, boo
Yeah.
boo? Um,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's really the power. I think that's the true power of AI right now, where we are, is to help entrepreneurs um work on the business, put some of that load on the AI, and then as much as you can before you have to start outsourcing to the HI, human intelligence, right? I think that's
Exactly.
really where it is, man.
Yeah. I mean, because you think about it, that's free labor.
Unless you
Mm,
pay for the
like,
subscription, get the Chat GPT-4. They just came
for
out with
yeah.
GBT Turbo. GBT-4 Turbo just came out.
Oh, I might have
Yeah,
to look
man.
into
Matter
it.
of fact, there'll be a video on the Tech Bites channel about GPT-4. Look out for that
Yeah.
on that. I think that one's gonna publish on Monday. That's gonna break down GPT-4 Turbo. It just makes it better. But either way, the biggest takeaway I want you to understand is, as an entrepreneur, you will be working in your business and on the
On the
business, and
business.
AI can definitely help you work on the business. I
Exactly.
think that's why I'm gonna cap my thoughts off on, as far as AI for entrepreneurs, man.
Yeah.
What are some of your final thoughts on that?
My final thoughts is, remember AI intelligence. Well, AI, because that's the same thing, right?
It's
AI
like
is
artificial intelligence, man. I
right,
get what you're
right.
saying.
But AI is not better than HI. But you're going to start your business with AI. Point blank.
Boom. I like it. I like it. It's
Yeah,
not better than HI, but it's gonna help you get started. And
yeah,
then eventually you're gonna grow with some HI. That's how I'm taking that. Did I
yeah.
understand that right?
Yes, you did.
That's
You know what
what's
I'm
up.
saying?
Hey man, this is a good conversation. TJ Edward, thanks for checking in. We had a few other people that checked in, but stay locked in. I am Tech Von Go. Stay locked in for tips and tricks on how to get into tech and cybersecurity. Plug your channel.
This is Corey Giovanni, Core ENT, for all things when it comes to creativity, content, and controlling. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on all of these topics that we're talking about. And sharing is caring. And your name may not be Sharon, but you still should be caring. I'm out.
I'm out.
Peace.
All right, y'all take care. Take care, bro.
Peace.